Hi everyone, I just want to give you a little bit of an update about your second assessment. And we are titling this assessment Contemporary Career Assessment Career Preparation Tools. And it's due on the 4th of May, just before midnight. It's worth 30%. And what you'll need to do is put together an email, a letter of reference, and also attach your brief CV. All equivalency is around 1,200 words. Now, this particular assessment is going to be measuring the course learning outcome number 4, which is demonstrate ethical, responsible and professional conduct in the preparation and presentation of career-related materials and activities. So in this assessment, you are allowed to use AI as long as you make sure you align to the rubric and let us know how you have used AI and to what purpose. And that also means if you decide not to use AI, to also reflect on that as well. So when you go into the Canvas site, you will see that in the assessment area, we have really clear instructions of what you can do in terms of AI use, and also how you might like to acknowledge that you haven't used AI, which is also acceptable too. There is also an assessment task breakdown in terms of what we're expecting for this assessment. And we're going to go through this step by step in your in-person tutorial classes. So that's because that's also aligned to assessment 3. And I'll also have a similar video that I'm doing here now about assessment 2. I'll also be doing the same for assessment 3. Just to really let you understand what that active engagement is all about, and how the reason why we're continually encouraging you to come along to in-person tutorials, because we do want you to be successful in this course. In terms of assessment 2, the email is a formal communication from you to a real or imagined referee. We highly recommend that you think about a future position that you're really interested in, and really tailor this assessment for something that you really would likely apply for. This will help you with your understanding of what's needed, and also it becomes more real, and it can help you move forward in terms of when you actually apply for your own job. Could be now or post-graduation. So that's around 600 words. And then there's a letter of reference, and this should be no more than 1.5 pages in length. And that's around 600 words as well. And the instructions are really clearly outlined how you do that letter of reference. It's about, hypothetically thinking about what you would like your referee to say about you. So you need to understand what your employability skills strengths are, but also the areas that you need to improve upon. And that's why it's really important to align this assessment to a real position that you would really like to go for, because they're going to have particular areas of skills, experience and qualifications that you'll need to align to in that reference letter. Now, we also expect an up-to-date brief CV. A brief CV is very different to a full CV. A full CV can be up to 8 to 10 pages long. We don't want you to be doing that, even though you should have that ready to go at whenever you need it. That's quite normal for your career artifacts and tool case. In terms of this assessment, we're after an up-to-date brief CV, and the instructions in the assessment are very clear around that. You need to make sure that you're aligning your CV to your application as well, and do have a look at the rubric. And we really don't want to see any errors. So that's really important. I mean, you need to think about a potential or a real employer you receiving these artifacts. And so if you have any errors throughout, they're going to see that, and they're not necessarily going to think highly of your writing skills, for example. So make sure that you're error-free, and that's all in the rubric as well. Again, if you need an extension and you have an equity learning plan in place, you can access your extension through Canvas, and you must do that before the due date. And if you are a student who does not have an equity learning plan and you also need an extension, you need to also do that in Canvas, and I can provide that straight away, but only up to 7 days. Anything beyond that, you'll need to request special consideration. So nothing has changed from assessment 1 in terms of that. So we are really looking forward to receiving your artifacts, and it's kind of exciting because you can practice, and this is what this whole assessment's about. And you'll be unpacking that step by step with your peers in your in-person tutorial classes, as well as your tutors will be taking you through and leading you through the process. So turn up to your tutorial classes, because by the time that this assessment is due, you've pretty much done it, which is great. Don't forget, you also need to be looking at your reading list and actually doing the readings and reflecting on those readings in preparation for your tutorial classes. And also you must be watching the online lecture and any other compulsory learning activities that I provide for you in the module associated prior to your in-person tutorial class. And also be mindful that I do use AI-assisted platform Notebook LM to help with summarizing the readings. It does not take away your responsibility as a student to be actually reading and reflecting on the readings. It just helps those students who might be really time poor or have external circumstances where they're struggling to come to tutorials. I want everyone to succeed, and I've explained that in other videos for you, why I'm doing that. And I've also positioned that in the Canvas site as well to improve clarity around that too. So thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.